All right. Hey, everybody. This is Adam coming to you with a video for QuietSpeculation.com. Quiet Speculation is a magic finance website that has a bunch of different articles and resources and videos for both those that are competitive minded, those with a casual approach to the game. All in all, great group. Today, I'm going to be jumping into a sealed lobby. So Kamigawa Neon Dynasty just came out this past weekend. It's the pre-release, and in the spirit of the pre-release, I am going to be playing a couple rounds of Sealed. If you're not familiar, you get 6 packs of cards. You have to build a deck with it. 40 cards, build a limited deck. So let's see what we open. Ooh, okay. So typically you look at your rares and then potentially branch out from there. Notably, we have Kyrie, the Swirling Sky, which is one of the more or less unbeatable bomb dragons in the set. Not only is it a flying 6/6 with ward 3, so it's hard to kill. If they do end up killing it, you get one of these two effects upon the death trigger. So you can more or less draw 2 cards or bounce a bunch of stuff. So it's kind of like a darned if you do, darned if you don't for my opponent. Otherwise, this 6/6 flyer is probably going to make quick work of them. Looking at the other cards, the Ogre Head Helm is a 2/2 equipment creature, which is the new mechanic for the set. So when it or the creature that it's equipped to deals combat damage, I can sacrifice it. If I do, discard my hand, draw 3 cards, and then reconfigure is like equip. It turns it from a creature into a non-creature equipment. If the creature it's equipped onto dies, the helmet becomes a creature again. So there's also Soul Transfer, which is a very solid removal spell. Teaching of the Kirin, mill 3 cards, make a spirit token, put 1 counter on target creature, exile it, becomes a 1/1, and when it attacks, I can either exile a creature from a graveyard, make a 1/1, exile a non-creature, put a 1/1 counter. So this card's kind of okay, not great. It's a 2-mana 1/1 that gets you a little bit of extra oomph. It helps if you are the modified deck, right? Which cares about having either counters on creatures, not necessarily 1/1 counters. So any counters on your creatures, if your creatures are equipped or enchanted with an aura that you control. So your opponent's pacifism style effects don't really affect it. But there are a bunch of payoffs that care and often scale with you having modified creatures. So this can give you a modified creature, can modify your creatures, and put additional things on board. That being said, it's a little slow and the payoff's not great. This is not really a factor. We're not going to be a 5-color deck. The fixing in this set doesn't really work with that game plan. And then this is 7 mana for an effect that I'm not really interested in. So just from looking at our rares, I want to be blue if I possibly can. And I think that the Helm is a strong reason to be in red. Certainly possible that Soul Transfer, if we have strong black support, makes it in. Alright, so real quick, let's take a look at our blue, because we're pretty clearly planning on that. Also a little on the light end here, which is not great. The Familiar is fine. The Hacker is fairly good. So let's take a look here. I also like the Behold the Unspeakable. This card is not ideal. Okay, so we might be in for a little bit of trouble here, right? Let's see what we got. Alright, so I think I'm going to just click through, figure out what cards look good in each of my colors, and then pair back from there. So if we have a fair amount of like ninjutsu effects, I don't mind the Moth Rider Patrol. It's a 1-mana flyer, which really helps to enable it. So you can have like the Hacker come in off of this and you replay it. Don't love these. This is a 2-mana 2/2 with. This would see play in the deck if we end up going late. Not necessarily locked into it quite yet. Selfless Samurai is a strong card. I think I would, in theory, play it. These come in, no real questions asked there. Chant artifact or creature. If it's a creature, it gets +1/+1 for each creature or vehicle. Also discard it to make 2/1/1s at instant speed. Seems fine. We would play it if we're in white. That is a card that actually makes me want to be in this color. Touch the Spirit Realm is good. It's removal that also can blink one of your permanents to either regain an ETB effect or to save you from a kill spell. Whenever this enters the battlefield or attacks, if I control an artifact and an enchantment, make a 2/2 Samurai for 5 mana. This effect is very strong. It needs a little bit of hoops to be jumped through, though with the amount of artifact creatures and enchantment creatures in the set, it's not too difficult if you are actively trying to get that to work. Let's see what else we have. So we have Lethal Exploit, which is a fine removal spell. It scales if you have modified creatures, but you don't necessarily need them. Life of Toshiro Umezawa is very strong. So for the first 2 stories, or what are they called? The lore chapters, there we go. You get an Umezawa's Jite effect. So +2/+2 to a creature, -1/-1, or gain 2 life. There are a lot of X1s in this set, so I really like this. It both acts as a slowing agent for your opponent or potentially removal, and then it flips into a 2/3 mana dork. What else do we have? So this would theoretically come in. Flying, if a thing died, draw a card. Otherwise, each player sacrifices a creature. This seems pretty solid. Blade Blesser gets buffed if you have an artifact, and also bumped if you have an enchantment. Soul Transfer is great. This is also a removal spell. It's efficiently costed. It doesn't look like we have much ninjutsu in our pool, which is notable. Egg seems fine, or I guess it's not an egg, but sort of an egg. This is a shock effect, which is more than fine. These effects are great. 2 of these, so sacrifice an artifact, make a 3/1. I think that effect's very, very strong. I also like the shrine here. So this is a first strike 2/2 for 3, which is already a rate that you're more than fine with paying. At the end of your turn, you can deal 1 damage. Oh, you deal damage equal to the number of shrines you control to either a player or a planeswalker, or X the number of shrines you control. More than likely, this is going to be our only shrine, unless there's something that pulls me into green instead. But a 2/2 first striker that pings my opponent every turn is perfectly playable. Peerless Samurai. This makes my things cost less. I have 3 of them. It's also a menace creature. I might end up being the Samurai deck. So this is 2 damage to target, and then to any target, and then 1 damage to most of my opponent's other creatures. I think that's fine. This is a 4 mana 3/4 that can sacrifice an artifact to buff itself. I think that's also fairly reasonable. Not great. I don't know if I want both of these, but it is an artifact. I have Bloodfell Caves, which is also notable. Okay. Anything in green that's a big pull. Don't love Commune with Spirits. This is a 3/3 Defender Reach that can also be a plummet. That's a pretty expensive plummet. If I were some sort of like blue-green ramp style deck, I think that this card would make it into the deck. As of right now, I don't think that's the direction that I'm going to be in. This is a 2/2 that has basically Bushido. When it becomes blocked or blocks, it gets +1/+1. So it basically attacks in or blocks as a 3/3, which is solid. This is a Mana Dork. Not much to say beyond that. It's a good card. Don't love it. We'll play it if we're in the colors, but I don't love it. This is a 2 Mana Dork that could also be an aura that buffs a creature or artifact. I don't think I really want to be an R unless I'm getting heavily paid off for modified. Choose one or both, return a creature, or return an enchantment, or both. That's solid. Put 2 1/1 counters on a creature, an instant speed. Put 2 lore counters on a thing. Next time, one or more enchantment creatures enter the battlefield, enters with an additional 2 counters. Okay. As battlefield, return an enchantment, gain 3. Turns a land into a 4/5, and if the land would be destroyed, Vigilance and Haste is actually not a bad line of text. Instead, sacrifice that. Hot Springs is pretty nice. As much as I hate this, I think we might actually have to cut the blue. Alright, so let's say we're in base red-black. What does that look like? Let's see what our gold card or our colorless cards are. I was actually very impressed with Ninja's Kunai. I think this card's very strong, especially if you have ways of recurring it, like the 3 mana 3/3 Goblin Motor effect. You can sacrifice an artifact and then bring back something that costs less, so you're able to get this bolt effect multiple times. It also is a cheap way of enabling your modified checks. This card's also great. It's a card draw engine that comes in and puts a counter on a thing. I am a fan of that. I don't think that I want to be playing Thundersteel Colossus. Trample, Haste are great keywords, and Crew 2 is more than reasonable, but 7 mana is not. Not for what I'm trying to do. It looks like I have a fair amount of payoffs for modified. So let's see if we can do something with that. Apprentice does not seem great, but does count as a modified card. So let's see what my gold cards are. Invigorating Hot Spring enters the battlefield with 4 1/1 counters on it. Modified creatures have haste, remove a counter from it, put a 1/1 counter on another creature. That seems pretty solid. Okay, so how many artifacts do I actually have currently in here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 artifacts, which isn't a ton for the smelter, but it's also just a 2/2. I can play my synthesizer. Let's see what else. Is there anything in green that I would want? If I did bring it in. Both of these would make the cut. This would probably make the cut. Don't have a ton of enchantments to bring back. It would just be the teachings. So probably not that. Combat trick that modifies things. Return enchantment. If only that was artifact or enchantment. Not where I think I want to be. Okay, so wait, this is 29 cards. I can actually cut a few cards. Let's see. I could dump the black and just go straight red-green. I feel like that might make the pool a little too bad. So this is exactly 23 cards, right? But I feel like we have the splash to make it worth it. We could, in theory, splash in blue. Granted, the cards that we want are double colored. Does combat damage. Alright, so what we have. This is a hard pool to deal with, right? Because this is just such a beating. And I really want to play it if we can. Just need to figure out how we're going to make it work. What do we have in the way of ninjutsu? Not a ton. Alright, Deals combat damage to a player. Put an artifact into play with less than or equal to that much. Not really in love with that. Alright. So, let's take another look here. If we do a black splash, I have the Blood-Filled Caves. If we do the blue splash, I have the Thornwood Falls. Alright. Let's see. I think we probably give this a go. Alright, so with the Uncharted Haven, I don't feel quite as bad about splashing, but like this is definitely a mistake. But I want to do it anyway. The question is, what else do we get here? And we're playing best of 3 in this queue. So it could be worse. Artifact. Let's see. Anything we're missing here? Let's see. It's probably fine. So I have to make 25. I have to make 2 cuts. Oh, God, no, I can't play this. All right. Sorry, folks. It's possible somebody's probably screaming at their computer that I am doing this wrong, but it is what it is. I think I played this. Is there anything else that I want to dump here? If I may go back in and then put the black cards back. Don't need that surge. Don't really have the payoff for this. I could play the Tempered in Solitude. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26. Alright. So we'll go 8. We'll go 7. 8, 9. Okay, we need to make 2 cuts. Might not actually need the Artificer. The 1/3 is actually somewhat relevant. There are a lot of 2/2s and X1s in this format. Huh. You can cut that. Don't think I need it quite as much. This card seems bad. I feel like I'm going to struggle a little bit here with closing out the game. I'm going to be banking on this Skyscraper pretty heavily. I can trim one of the Samurai. Okay. That should be fine. And we'll go from there. Sacrifice another artifact. If it were artifact creature, I would feel more comfortable. Alright, we're going to give this a run. Oh, that shouldn't be in there. Whoops. Well, we'll take that up before we start our next one. That's a problem, and we can't keep that hand anyway. This one, though, we can absolutely keep. This hand seems great. Question is, do I want the samurai? I don't think I want the samurai, actually. Alright, so I have my shock variant here to deal with any early card. This format has a lot of playable 2-drops too, which my opponent has chosen not to use, which works for me. The question is, what do I want to buff? Do I want to buff the 1/1 into a 2/2 and get this online as soon as possible, or do I want something that's a bigger payoff? I think that's probably fine, because I can always equip the 1/1 with the Helm later on. What'd they name on here? Black? Okay. So, my opponent is on... Ooh, okay. Huh. I'll go for the attack. Let's see if they want to trade. Really? Alright, doing it like this, I don't love it, but as of right now, they don't actually have anything to get value off of with this. If they play something here, then I might go for the Surge. But I think I'm better served by having this in play. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Nope. You have a combat trick? I think playing this is a very bad idea. It deals combat damage to a player. You can discard a creature. When you do, destroy a thing. Alright. Spent 0. Ooh, hot springs. Do I want to make a 1/1 or do I want to make my things bigger? I think I want to make my things bigger. Non-creature card from a graveyard. This lets this attack in. Decline. So next turn I can play this, equip here, and then get in for the damage. Sure. Don't care about that. I'll put a counter on this. Sell non-land. This is now 3-4, or sorry, 4-4. Hit my opponent for 9. Make him jump. Oh, okay. Do I actually want to discard my hand? Yeah, I'll sacrifice this. And now I have my kunai to just bolt them. Cool. Cool. Alright, we're going to take that blue card out of our deck. Whoops. Now, let's put in literally anything else. Samurai seems fine. What was this? Steal a thing, buff, 3/3, trample. No, not really interested in that. 3-mana shock. My opponent only showed us 2. They showed us 3 creatures. This does hit it. A little bit pricey. Yeah, alright. We'll play the 3-mana shock. Alright, I think I like this. This into a turn 3 Tawashi Guidebot doesn't seem bad. Okay, my opponent is in fact here. We're going to lead on the red source to make them think that we have the shock again. Card's very good, but they don't have creatures to make it work right now. Artificer. If they have the white source and they get the legendary samurai, yeah, they do. Okay. Good for them. They assembled that combo. I think I do put the counter in here. They're gonna draw 2 cards. Both 4-drops, so they can only play 1. One is better than the other. I'll give them that. Okay, 2 legendary samurais. Whenever thing attacks alone, first combat, you can attack again. Got it. That's going to be a problem for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so this costs 3 to activate. And I have my Artificer, so I'm gonna play the trainee and then leave up the activation. So you're gonna get 2 combats out of the deal here. Wow, that's really good. So they're gonna get 3 more combat. Yeah, 3 more combats out of the deal here. Pass the blocks. We're gonna see how the order here. Okay, I'm not winning this one. Just out of curiosity, what am I drawing? Yeah, okay. They drew their best cards in the best possible order. Alright, knowing what I know now, is there anything I want to change? I actually kind of like this, right? Three, 4 is kind of relevant against that board. Don't love 4/3s. Yeah, we can trim on a samurai. I'll be on the play. Hand seems okay, not great, but acceptable. We've got 3 lands, 2 removal spells, a 4-drop creature. I don't know how to feel about this card. I feel like it's good. I don't know if my deck is the one that makes it good. Never mind, this hand's great. Let's see if they have their Mardu 3-drop again. I don't think I actually want to discard anything. I'm going to be channeling this and then holding up the Surge anyway. This actually also lets me hold up the Seismic Wave. Oh, cool. I don't care about that whatsoever. In fact, it actually gives me a target for my Seismic Wave. That is a warrior, so this will trigger this. This hand's really awkward, isn't it? Decline. So far, my opponent has not actually triggered this at all. But I'm a little stuck on only having one red source. Sure. I'll block. Do you have a pump spell? Sure. Don't care a ton about that, in all honesty. Did I play land this turn? I did. Whoops. I shouldn't have done that. So I don't love this card, and I especially don't love my opponent playing it when they're short on lands, because this functionally turns this into a thing that's not tapping for mana, right? Now that's a little annoying. I'll decline. I know this signals that I have it, but... don't really know what my opponent's going to do about it. None of these have attack triggers. This does. No blocks. So I have 3, 4, 5 activation. I'll decline. Yeah, that's fine. You have another pump? Or is this a ninjutsu that I didn't play around? Cool. It's a pretty good one. They don't actually have another artifact to sacrifice, do they? No. Cool. Throwing away a couple lands. Has Menace? Sure. Hey Shingo, doing all right. Just hopped into our first league here. I made the mistake of entering with a blue card in my deck when I cut blue. So we're game 2, game 3. Won game 1, lost game 2 to my opponent carving out pretty well. Hopefully we can lock it up here. I'm going to do it like this. Get some cards out of the deal. They're gonna have to double block if they don't let this through, which is fine. I can kill my choice of any of the 3 things that bother me. I'm pretty okay with dumping off the Ronin. Configure, put it on here, play the land. Now ping. Hoping my opponent doesn't find something that deals 4 damage. Well, that'll also do it. I don't think that this is a main boardable card, and I don't think my opponent sided it in against me. Don't think I can attack in. But they can't really either. Terrarium's really good for them. So they can sacrifice Terrarium to make this a 5/5. So I think I just take it. Yeah. Put it back on here. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so they get another 2/2 in a couple turns. We've got 13 cards left in library. March of Reckless Joy. No blocks. If they have the fireball, they have the fireball. If they want to cast this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not worried about those cards. Now the question is, do they chump or do they take it? Cool. I'll sacrifice that. I think that's fine. Can't play land. I'll pass. We have 7 cards left in the library. They have 1,000,000 mana, so I don't really care about the samurai here. Cool. Probably shouldn't have played the land, but in the event that they let it through, I don't think I'm sacrificing it. So if I hit a land off this, okay. Let's see how they want to block. They're just taking it? Cool. Decline. And that should clean up. Cool, we did it. Even with the slight mistake of putting uncastable cards in our deck, we did it. So that is round 1. We're going to make that correction real quick. Whoops. We cut that for the second one of these. So I wanted to mention, this card reminds me a lot of Gatekeeper Colossus, right? The big dumb thing with cost reduction based on set mechanic. And that card was a beating too. This can't come back, but it does have hexproof, which more or less guarantees that you get it on your following turn. Having the enchantment as well that can make modified things have haste is a big plus. Ooh. Keep. Okay, I'm on the play, which is amazing. blue kunai. Okay. I feel inclined to play the thing with the greater power. In the event that they have some sort of, like, a rust effect, I can still get the trigger if need be. Opponent loses life. Becomes a 2-2 in a couple turns. Yeah, that's fine. The question is, do I want to play this and sacrifice it into a 3-1 haste and swing for 5? I think I do. I think the goal here is put my opponent on the back foot. Another good thing is the guide bot. It gets the ETB effect and doesn't care where the counter goes. Considering all of my creatures are more than likely gonna get eaten by this or trade for this. I don't think it necessarily makes sense to pile up on the good card. This is not so this isn't a draft. This is sealed. I played one pre-release this morning, and that was it. Okay, so when you cast an enchantment, if you don't have a 3/3 frog, you get a 3/3 frog. 3/3 frog. Can't say words. 3/3 frog that drains it and target frog you can control. Can't be blocked. Okay, got it. Makes sense. So. Yeah, I played the pre-release this morning, went 3-0, 6-0 in some very non-competitive games. It was wonderful. I'm going to stick that there and offer the trade. I unfortunately had to go to a funeral on Friday and Saturday, so this is actually my first time like playing Arena since before the changeover. So far, I'm very much enjoying the set. I love the aesthetic. I feel like the archetypes feel somewhat balanced. That might change in the future. Unclear currently. Presumably they go for the smelter, which leaves the guide bot kind of to its own devices. That's not what I wanted to see. And the fact that this replaces itself every time it trades with a token is kind of rough. Either those are samurai. Alright, gonna attack in here. Didn't hit a land, but I did hit a castable card. Sure. Them opting to trade the 2/2 instead of the 3/3 is interesting, because they would get a 3/3 back. This card's very, very strong. Also, So I'm not sure entirely how to feel about Tempered and Solitude. This card feels very, very good in the decks that can consistently trigger it. And we've typically seen these kinds of effects at 4 mana. So having it as low as this is fascinating. Okay, what do these do? Put up to one, search for 2 basics. Put up to 1 target land card from your graveyard on the top of your library. So I hate having to do this, but I feel like I have to do it. Otherwise, they can just make their stuff unblockable, quote unquote, and then hit me for 6 each turn, and then I die. Alright, play this one. Play this one. Okay, we're not beating this. Make a monk. Put 1 counter on each creature, and then big thing. Okay, my opponent has some very, very good cards in their pool. And I feel like we have drawn the bottom... I would say bottom like 40% worth of our deck. You can trade for 1 of my creatures. You have a combat trick, you have a combat trick. Okay. I've seen enough. Alright, knowing what I know now, my opponent has a fairly heavy Enchantress theme. Do I have anything that deals with enchantments? No. That's rough. How much do I want to splash black? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Swamp. Alright, I got 2 minutes to make this change. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 17 lands. I had to make 7 cuts. That's probably not worth. Trainee's actually fine. I can cut that. I have better mana dorks. I can trim on that. Cut the synthesizer. Oh, this card's just bad. Okay. We're doing it live! My opponent's deck is just very good. Their bombs are better than my bombs. It seems fine, if not a little slow, but I have this A plus B to kind of carry me through. Okay. Oh, perfect. We found our lethal exploit. Or found our mana for the lethal exploit. I'm gonna go on the hot springs here. If I end up playing the Go Shintai, then this will give it haste anyway. also, this way I don't open myself up to... Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Excuse me. Did I did show them some decent artifacts and enchantments. Okay, never mind. No, wait, did I? I'm actually not entirely sure if I did. They have another kill spell. Sure, here's my smelter. Would you like to modify this? Yeah, that's fine. So I can Seismic Wave this, or hold it to be able to lethal exploit the following turn and kill their archer. I think it's still fine to do it this way. Well, that's kind of interesting. Make my monster grow. Tapped out a green. Do they have a different pump spell? Or they have like a lethal exploit? Oh. Okay. Interesting. I don't think that you should be playing this card. I do not think it's particularly powerful. Buff a thing, whatever. Alright. Yeah. I will kill your token for free. Notably, the backside doesn't actually fix for Twisted Embrace. But it is a creature. Use battlefield, bounce my thing. Yeah, you got it. How would you like to buff your Remnant of the Rising Star? Or play a creature which taps you low, and then we can kill that off. Cool. Oh, right on time. I would love to get this value. Attack in. Would you like to block? You do not want to block. Awesome. They still have 3 cards in their hand, and I have nothing. So I need to find something that pulls me out of this. They have a 4/4 reach. They did not draw a card off of it. +1/+3 and reach is interesting text. Maybe I should put it on the Memory of Toshiro. Oh, well, that's very bad for me. Though I do think that my opponent could have done it on my turn and been in the same position they're currently in. But I tapped my stuff down an additional turn. Alright, down to 2. Do you have another one? Seems like you do. Nope. That'll do it, though. Okay. 1 and 1. Alright, we got our match. Hurt me. Alright, we're on the draw. Presumably. Now that's interesting. I think I still keep. I can cast my spells pretty well, and we found it. Cool. Never didn't have it. Now I don't want to draw more lands. I just said I don't want to draw more lands. Let's see what they want to do. Alright, my opponent has played their large sword. Becomes a tap to creature, tap that creature. Okay. Not either of the card types I need to care about. I think I just stick the hot springs, right? Make a 2/4. Next turn I attack with a 3/3 first strike haste. And then ping them. Monkey Bath real good. My opponent has real good mana. Look at this. They can't equip the same turn, which is unfortunate for them. Ooh. That's real good for me. 4, 5. I would love to. Ooh, Seismic Wave's gonna be non-artifact creature. Ah, never mind. It was gonna be real good for me. I can still hardcast it and ping their thing. My opponent having all artifact creatures in play is not where I wish I were. Though I don't think it's gonna matter all that much. I'm gonna play a Walking Skyscraper next turn and attack with it. Looks like they're holding up a counterspell. Definitely looks like they're holding up a counterspell. Sure. So this lets me keep the Ghost Shintai around to ping them each turn. It lets me have the discount for Walking Skyscraper still. They don't get the card draw off of this. If they want to equip here, sure. It's still going to trade... Oh, it's going to tap this down, and then it's still going to trade with any of my creatures. So this has Death Touch and Menace. What's the... yeah, of course. The Short Circuit. I think I'm still fine with this. This is going to force the chump block. Or I guess force the trade. Attack with these. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're going to have to chump block. And then they're at 1 for Ghost Shintai. I would love to. So my opponent has great mana. I'm unconvinced that this is doing anything for them. The fact that I don't have like a Shatter is also kind of wild, right? Artifact. Yeah. Like there's not even a Shatter in here. They have a lot of X1s. I think I kind of like bringing in the Apprentice. probably cut the cultivation. Actually, that's probably wrong. It's still a 1/1 mana dork for 2 with flash. Uncounterable too. Yeah, that might have been wrong. Ooh, okay, this is not a keep. Definitely not a keep. This is way better. Way, way, way better. Okay, so we put back a forest. This gives me a pretty great curve out, too. Offer the trade. I don't think they want to because it's going to make this tap for 2. Unless they have a kill spell. Cool. Sacrifice that, put the counter here, offer a trade. Cool. And we've played a lot of mana's worth of spells. Oh, we binned our good cards. It's okay. I have the Ogre Helm here. So this thing looks like it's probably trading down. Why would you do it on that turn? I don't understand. Yeah. This seems reasonable. Also means that this doesn't get exposed. Like they could have done that in my upkeep and then got an extra whole turn cycle out of it. There's Battlefield. If you have the A+B, you draw a card, gain a life. You're not getting the A+B. So I have 4, 5, 6 mana. I can play an equip. I will decline. Does that trample? No, just haste. I'll do that trade any day of the week. I'll touch here. Make my monster grow. I'm actually going to decline. I think I can get a little bit more value out of this. It's now the biggest thing on the board. If I draw a land, I can actually play the Steel Breaker. Oh, or I can just burn a premium removal spell out of my opponent. Didn't draw the land, but... Your opponent's at 9? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What happens if I just attack all? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets through. 8 gets through and they have to trade. Maybe that was a bad attack. I will take the action. Never mind, great attack. I am in trouble if my opponent has exactly Wrath. I guess Farewell, so it would be land into Farewell. It's a great card, but it's a little too late. Good game, opponent. Sorry about the bad luck. Okay, so we walked out of that, what, 2-1? Not bad. Oh, we keep going until we hit the loss. Whoops. Alright, so we're going to keep going? I thought of it as like the best of 3 drafts, which are usually, what, 3 rounds? 3 or 4 rounds? This seems to be play until you get your second loss or until you win out. This seems great. Kunai into either Smelter or into Cultivator. Okay, since I hit my land, I think I do just play the Smelter here. They can have a kill spell, and that's fine. Sure. Ooh, that's also really good. Alright. Play this. Sacrifice that. Hit you. My opponent's probably not thrilled that I have 2 copies of this in my opener. Each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. I'll discard a card. I don't need this. I think this is still fine to play. Oh, I would have hit the land. Oh well. Nope. This happens twice, so I can sacrifice the 1/1. That's not going to do you much good. What does this flip into? An 0/4 menace when it attacks gets big. Sure. Hopefully I can hit a land. Not a land, but it is castable. And my opponent is not aware that they're dead to the seismic wave. And actually, if they go to block one of the 3/1s, the seismic wave will end up killing off the Animus. Okay, so unless things go extremely badly right now, I feel like I have locked up this game. And I even have the hot springs just in case. Alright, so they're going to kill off something. And now the seismic wave doesn't actually present lethal, but I still have lethal on. Quasi-lethal on board. Let's see what they want to do in combat. Oh, or they could just... They block wrong? What happened? Were they at 4 or were they at 5? Alright. Well. Regardless, let's see what we got. Alright, so we don't know a ton about their deck. Presumably they have artifact and enchantment synergies. You've seen 1 enchantment, we've seen main board 2 removal spells for artifacts and enchantments. I don't have a ton to choose from, honestly. Do I want the Apprentice? It's probably not the worst to include. I have 1 mana dork. I probably don't need the second. Yeah, we're doing that plan again. Might have been wrong, but we're going to run it. Alright, so this we can't keep. We desperately need red in our opener. I guess, like that. Okay. I will save the egg for a little bit. I want to make sure I'm able to get the value out of it. So I'm going to hold up the kill spell here. Ooh, okay. Well, we found the value out of it. I'm going to lead on teaching. If my opponent doesn't actually get a board presence quickly, I'm actually going to be able to attack with this thing. Ooh, okay. Well. Let's see if I hit a mountain. Not a mountain. This feels so bad. But that thing cannot... cannot stick around. Destroy that. Blow up that. Alright, well... I don't really want either of these cards anyway, so... Guess it worked out. And I have the Helm anyway, so this game goes a little long. I'm able to redraw. I would love a land. 1/3 Death Touch. Okay. 1/3 Death Touch is fine. I'm going to lead on the cards I care about. They have removal, they have removal. No attacks. This plan, hopefully I can draw a land, which will let me equip the Helm to the Spirit. Really? You're attacking in with your... Hold on. Oh, okay. You can remove the Death Touch counter. Got it. Got it. I feel comfortable double blocking like this. If you have a pump, you have a pump. Okay. Put you on there. Take action. I will draw 3 cards. And we have Unmulligan. Your vehicles have Menace. Got it. Right? We have sufficiently unmulliganed ourselves. We're 7 cards up from my opponent. I guess technically it doesn't count because we milled 3 of them, but whatever. We're doing it live. How do I want to do this, though? Whenever a samurai or warrior attack, my next spell costs less. So I can attack with this, and then I'd be trading off the Ronin for a Scrapyard Steelbreaker. Is that fine? Huh. I think I just want to equip onto there. This gives me a layer of protection for the Helm, which I think is my best permanent right now. This would let me trade off for one of my opponent's creatures that they choose to block. Played a land already this turn. I think I can ditch the trainee. Or they let it through. I don't play a spell. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Your 3/3 defender is now a 5/5 defender. I'll just pass. Alrighty. Ooh, that's a good one. Sure. Move that onto this. It has the greatest power among creatures. Draw a card. Okay. You're really building up this Defender Reach card. Be a real shame if I had a Menace creature in play. You will draw one card. On to the Samurai. Okay. I'll give it to my opponent. They are making it real difficult to attack in. They have two of these? Why not save it? So they have a 7/6. I can pump this to be a 7/7 by sacrificing the Apprentice, potentially more. In that case, I'm going to make a 1/1. Exiling this. Let's see what they want to do. Cool. Put it on this one, I guess. Looks like my opponent might be flooding. Exile creature. We'll say this one. Miko 1/1. Decline. I think I like just having the biggest thing on board. Play this one. Move on to here. End step. Pay the one. Cool. Close that one out. Let's keep it going. Or did we finish it? We'll figure that one out. I'm not sure what the structure is for traditional sealed on here. It looks like we just keep going until we get the either the second loss or the 4 wins. Okay. This is the winning in for all the marbles. With our with our teamer deck. Similar issue to before, we can't keep the triple forest hand. Most of our meaningful plays are red. So we're going to send this back. this seems fine. Keep 6. I can put the 3/4 back. Black? Okay. Lead on Forest. I am more than likely just channeling this. Hopefully I find a 3rd land. So he will play more than one spell my following turn. Okay, maybe I'm not doing that, because that is a issue. Alright, so they got the first one, the second one. Okay, so no, actually I can channel this, because they will have gone through both of their GT activation sort of things here. I'm surprised they played this the turn that they did. I guess the question is, do I play the Helm and the Trainee? Or do I Seismic Wave and burn the full turn? I think Helm Trainee is probably the best bet. It uses my mana most effectively. I don't really care if this gets a hit in. Black, white, green. I'm not too concerned about them having a bunch of like ninjutsu in these colors. Alright, so whenever land enters, put a counter on a thing. Now I wish I did do the thing. Alright, this might make things a little bit harder. See if we hit a land. We did hit the land. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, party pooper. Reconfigure. I'll hop onto the training. Discard a card. Sacrifice creature unless I discard a card. I will discard a card. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that trade. I will sacrifice a creature. Bye. There's battlefield dies, put one counter on target creature or vehicle. Okay. Oh. Could have done this, right? Yeah. So, 2 damage to any target, and 1 damage to each non-artifact creature target opponent controls. So this does 3 damage to the bird. So we're going to deal 3 damage to the bird. Cool. Good to know that I definitely misread that several times. Yeah, I'll take the action. Cool. going to give myself the 4/5 here. I'll most likely be sacrificing the Artificer. They don't have a... Oh, they do have a Ninja. Why are they putting that on top? What? Why would you ever do that? Like, ever. Why would you ever do that? There's some weird tension between playing the land for this trigger versus maybe hitting one off of this one. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Put it here. Big boy. Oh, that was a mistake. Whoops. Should not have attacked with a 2/2. Got a little trigger happy. So doing like this, if they attack with the Animus, I can block with the Skyscraper and the Orochi. I would rather save the Smelter if possible. Alright, so... attack for 7. They have their own. Cool. That's good to know. Could have attacked with their flyer. Decline. I'll attack. See what I draw. Cool. Yeah. That's fine. This is discounted for each modified creature I control. And I'll attack for 8 next turn. So 1, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Okay. Doesn't feel great for me. I need to kill this quickly. I am going to look at 5 cards here. Potentially more. Cool. Play that. I only have 10 cards left in my deck. And somehow I still found a bunch of lands. Take action. Awesome. Alright, counter on this. Do I have enough permanents? Maybe? Miraculously. That is... How many left in the deck? I have the Steelbreaker, which is my bottom card. Samurai, Ronin, Kunai. And that's not a May. Yeesh, alright. That's a really good top deck from them. That's a really good top deck from them. Alright, I can't win from here. The creatures I have left in my deck are not enough to deal 13 damage in 3 turns. My opponent drew exceptionally well for those last, like, 3 turns there. How do I want to do this? They have flyers. They have a flyer. How many cards do they have left at the end of that? 30-something? Am I reading that right? Huh. I think I want another Steelbreaker. I can trim on the Manadorks. They have, what's it called? Umizawa's whatever. I don't think I want to, like, open it up to them to be able to get that value off. This hand looks great. We're going to do it live. The fact that they were able to rip the O-ring effect. Oh, that was brutal. Alright, here I'm going to lead on the trainee. I'm more happy with that dying than I am with the Helm dying. Cool. Hot Spring seems fine here. I have a 3/3. If I draw a land, I can deal a lot of damage. Cool, I drew a land. I'm going to deal a lot of damage. This is probably the best possible curve out I could hope for. Okay, they're off it. Alright, more draws like that one. More draws like that one. It's red and green. matters. Return a creature from my graveyard to my hand. Return enchantment from my graveyard to my hand. No, don't think I want that. Samurai doesn't seem necessary. Alright, this is the very last game, to my knowledge. I think this is the last game. Sand also seems great. Don't think I want to lead on Synthesizer. I'm going to play Smelter. Okay. That's not the first time they've run it out like that, and I'm surprised that they've chosen to do so. Do I want to lead on this? And then get the definite value off of the next one? No. I think this is probably my best bet with the highest chance of damage output here. If they have a kill spell, they have a kill spell. They don't have a kill spell. Awesome. Alright, let's see if we hit a land. Nope, just our best possible card. Damn it. Alright, let's see if we can hit a land off of this one. Autopay. Nope. I think I'm safe to play the Kunai over holding up the Surge. Looks like they have a fight effect. Ooh, okay. Well, I should have held up the Surge. What would you like to trade? Equip. You get an Infiltrator. Don't really care too much about that. Submit 0. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I can play this next turn. Let's see if they want to trade. They don't want to trade, but I still have my Walking Skyscraper next turn. Kami. Okay. Okay. Was it this opponent or the last one that did that wrong? This is game 3. Game 3 in what I believe is the final round. Tap an untap artifact, draw, discard. Okay. I think it was this round the opponent put the ninja on top. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot that. Combat. Pay 1. Sacrifice that. Yeah, for 10. Alright. Taking 8. We put 1 card that we wanted, 2 cards that we very much did not into the bin. Put 1 counter on a creature. Vigilance. Do that twice. No blocks on card. Are they just dead? Did they just kill themselves? So they're going to take 5, 6, 7, 8... No, they didn't kill themselves, but they have the chump block. Or have an answer here. They have to block the trampler. Okay, or they just didn't choose to math. Cool, we got there. So we have completed the sealed loot, question mark? Looks like we did it. Alright, gonna take a quick screenshot of the deck list. Not that there's anything particularly special, it's a lot of commons and uncommons. I think that this list was probably on the weaker side of things, all things considered. But that being said, like, I think that there are a number of commons and uncommons that are at a higher power level, things that you would expect from a rare. Invigorating Hot Springs is extremely good. It reminds me of Serrated Arrows a little bit, with like hints of Fires of Yavimaya. Clearly not fires, but being able to disperse 4/1 counters among different things that care about having those counters. And we don't have a ton of payoffs either for modified, but like Skyscraper is just a beating. Being able to curve out extremely well with like 1-drop into 2-drop into 3-drop, and then basically everything that you have subsequent from there is a haste threat. Especially when it's something like Goshintai, where you can attack in with a hasty 3/3 first striker, and if they have an answer for it, then you just get to sit back and ping. We were doing large chunks of damage in a single go. I think Ninja's Kunai is one of the best commons in the set, and I don't think that's particularly close. The amount of things that care about cheap artifacts, the things that bring back artifacts, and the rate for this is functionally just... It's a 2 to 3 mana bolt, and it's available in multiple colors. All in all, I think this deck was fine. I would give it maybe like a C, C-. And yeah, if you're watching this online, thank you so much for watching. This video is brought to you by QuietSpeculation.com. They host a bunch of Magic Finance, competitive deck guides, a bunch of phenomenal resources there. Highly recommend you check them out, QuietSpeculation.com. And with that, we're going to hop into another draft.